In the deserts of Central Asia, archaeologists have found strange legends. Stories of soldiers with iron discipline, square shields, and a formation unlike anything the East had ever seen. According to one controversial theory, these soldiers were not local mercenaries, but Roman legionaries, men who vanished after one of the greatest disasters in Roman history. This is the mystery of the Ghost Legion. In the 1st century BC, the ancient world was dominated by powerful empires. In the west stood the expanding might of the Roman Republic. In the east, a rival power controlled the trade routes of Mesopotamia and Persia, the Parthian Empire. Between them ran a fragile border, the Euphrates River. Beyond it lay wealth, trade, and power. One Roman man wanted that wealth more than anyone. Marcus Licinius Crassus, the richest man in Rome, but also the most ambitious. He had watched other generals gain glory through conquest. Now he wanted his own victory. And in 53 BC, he marched east. Nearly 40,000 Roman soldiers crossed into the deserts of Mesopotamia. Legionaries, cavalry, auxiliaries. They marched under the blazing sun, deeper and deeper into unfamiliar territory. But the Parthians had no intention of fighting Rome the traditional way. Instead, they set a trap. Near the town of Carrhae, the Roman army encountered a force unlike any it had faced before: Parthian Horse Archers. Fast, disciplined, and devastatingly effective. They rode in circles around the Roman formation, releasing a constant rain of arrows. Historians later described the tactic as the Cantabrian Circle. The Romans could barely strike back. The legionaries formed the Testudo, the famous Roman shield wall. Normally it was impenetrable, but this time the arrows never stopped. Hour after hour, thousands of arrows hammered the Roman formation. Armor cracked, shields splintered, discipline began to collapse. By the end of the battle, the Roman army was destroyed. More than 10,000 Roman soldiers were captured alive. Instead of executing them, the Parthians made a different decision. They marched the prisoners thousands of kilometers east, to the distant frontier of their empire, a place called Merv. For Rome, it was the end of the world. There, the prisoners were forced to serve as border guards. Decades passed, empires shifted, and slowly, Rome forgot them. Somewhere in the vast lands of Central Asia, the lost legend disappeared. While Rome lost track of its soldiers, another empire was expanding west, the Han Dynasty. Chinese armies were pushing into the deserts and mountains of Central Asia, securing the trade routes we now call the Silk Road. And unknowingly, they were approaching the same frontier where the Roman prisoners had been sent. In 36 BC, Chinese scouts reported something unusual: a fortified city deep in the western frontier. It belonged to a rebel warlord named Gigi. But what truly caught their attention were the soldiers guarding the walls. They were not nomads. They fought in tight formations, with shields locked together. When the Han army attacked Gigi's fortress, the mysterious mercenaries fought fiercely. Their discipline impressed the Chinese commanders. But the technology of the Han army was overwhelming. Crossbows, powerful and precise, hammered the defenders. Heavy bolts smashed into shields and armor, shattering wood and iron alike. When the battle ended, the fortress fell, and among the dead, Chinese soldiers saw something strange. Faces unlike the nomads of the steppe, bearded men with deep-set eyes and unfamiliar armor, men who may have come from the far Western world. Instead of executing the survivors, the Han made a surprising choice. They recruited them. The warriors were relocated deep inside China, nearly 1,000 miles from the battlefield. According to later records, the Han established a special settlement, a place called Liqian. Interestingly, Liqian was the Chinese name used for the Roman world. Modern researchers have attempted to test the legend. Genetic studies of villages in the region have found traces of European ancestry, but the results remain controversial. History rarely gives us perfect answers. Did a Roman legion really reach China? Or is this story simply a coincidence, woven into myth? What we do know is that 10,000 Roman soldiers disappeared after Carrhae, and somewhere in the vast history of the Silk Road, their story may still echo